Hello everyone, welcome back to Really Good Crochet. My name's Ali and today we're going to be making the baby bobble stitch. Now this small but perfectly formed little stitch is made using the extended single crochet and one single crochet made and finished together. As you can see, I've made it using an offset pattern. This is worked in an Aran yarn and it's a stitch that is absolutely perfect for projects like scarves, baby blankets, pot holders, those kinds of projects. It is a little bit more of a yarn eater than you might imagine, but it is nevertheless a fantastic little stitch, and it really does give some amazing texture. So let's crack on and get on with making that today. Now I'm making that today with some DK weight yarn from my stash. As you can see, I'm still using my old cereal bowl for my yarn bowl. I might get round to buying a yarn bowl one day, but as ever, today is not that day. Now we need to start by making a slip knot. You can make your slip knot however you make yours. I start by taking my cut end of yarn and wrapping that over my finger twice. You've got the front loop and you've got the back loop. You take the back loop and pull that over your front loop. You take the front loop and pull that all the way over your finger. You can pop your hook into the loop created and tighten down, and then you're ready to start creating your stitches. Now, we do like to take our time around here and take everything nice and slowly, but if you feel that you need to slow me down even further, then you can do so in the settings. Now, if you're watching from your mobile phone, that's using the cogwheel in the top right hand corner up there. If you're watching using your laptop, that's in the bottom right hand corner down there. I also use US stitch terms, although I'm based in the UK. I just find them more logical. But if you use UK stitch terms, then we're using the double crochet and the extended double crochet. Now we need a setup row of single crochet. The stitch is worked over an odd number of stitches, so we need to start off with an even number of stitches as we need the extra chain for our turning chain. So I'm going to make 16 chains to start with, so that we have 15 chains and 15 single crochet. Yarn over, pull through for 1, yarn over, pull through for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, if you've never made an extended single crochet before, I have a tutorial for that in my introduction to crochet, which is on my playlists. I can link to the lesson in the description box down below. Now we need to make a single crochet in the second chain from our hook. We never count the chain on our hook, we only count the fully formed chains hanging down from our hook. So we skip that first chain and then into that second chain. Normally I like to work into the back bumps, but to keep everything nice and simple today, I'm just going to be working in through the top of the chain. So let's skip that first chain and into that second chain. So pop in your hook, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through both loops, and you have your first single crochet. Into the next chain, make another single crochet, and then make 1 single crochet into every chain all the way down the row. The baby bobble stitch is one of the stitches that we're going to be making for our stitch sampler crochet along, Simple Pleasures crochet along, and there are going to be, I'm going to be giving more details about that tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that post on my community page. And I'm going to be doing a video about that later on this week. I'm going to be taking an approach that I hope people will find a little bit refreshing and a little bit different. I also, that's better, currently have a hound sitting on my foot, and she's not called Iron Butt for nothing. She's an adopted dog who was a foster dog, and she's part husky, part lurcher, all drama queen. Love her to bits, I do. She doesn't bark except in her sleep, and she gets very offended if you swear, but my God, can she give you a mouthful. And I don't think she's quite grasped the terms, darling, can you not? I'm trying to film this video tutorial. Bless her sweetheart. Right, let me just check to make sure that I've got all my 15 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Once you've got your single crochet in, and check that you've got your odd number, chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to start by making in that very first stitch a single crochet. Nice simple start. Okay, and now we're going to make our first bobble stitch. Now the baby bobble stitch is made with 3 extended single crochet and 1 single crochet made and finished together. So let me show you what that looks like. Go into the stitch under both loops, pull up the loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop and then stop. You still have 2 loops on your hook. Go back into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Now go back into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. You have 4 loops on your hook and you have your 3 partially made extended single crochet. Now go back into that stitch one more time, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook and you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. And then in that very next stitch, you're going to make a slip stitch. Grab the yarn, pull straight through. Don't make it too tight because you're going to be working into that stitch later. And you've made your first bobble. Okay, in the next stitch, going to make another bobble stitch. So let's go through that again, nice and slowly. So, into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop. You've got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, then stop. Go back into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. You've still got 3 loops on your hook. Go back into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. You now have 4 loops on your hook and 3 partially made extended single crochets. Now go back into the stitch and pull up a loop. You now have 5 loops on your hook and you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. and then in the next stitch, slip stitch. So now you have 2 bobble stitches. Let's do that again. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. And then the last time, into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Remember that very last loop that you pull up is just the single crochet rather than the extended single crochet. And then in the very next stitch, you make a slip stitch. Let's do that again. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Those are your 3 extended single crochets. Now into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, and then in the very next stitch, make a slip stitch. Don't make it too tight because you're going to be making a stitch into that stitch on the return pass. And again. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. There's your 3 extended single crochet. Then back into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. Little tip, you might find that pinching the bottom of those stitches made together whilst you're pulling through the loop would be helpful. In the very next stitch, make a slip stitch. Now you're going to continue like that. Once you come to the last 2 stitches, you'll make your last bobble stitch. Let me just pull out some more yarn. You'll make your last bobble stitch as normal. And then in that very last stitch, instead of making a slip stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. Then chain 1 and turn. And as you can see, you have a little row of gorgeous bobble stitches. Now, your return pass is very simple because all it is single crochet, but you do need to be careful because obviously these bobble stitches, you've got the stitches on top of the bobble stitches, but you've got the stitches in between the bobble stitches, the slip stitches, and you will be working into those. You need to make sure that you don't miss a stitch. Okay, so single crochet into the single crochet you've just made, and then on top of the stitch, and then between the stitch, and then make a single crochet all the way down the row. On top of the stitch, into every slip stitch between the bobble stitches. Sorry, I'm going out of shot there. top of the stitch. Okay, and then once you've got to the end of the row, chain 1 and turn. Now, to do the offset pattern, it's very simple. I'm going to start with 2 single crochet. So single crochet in the first stitch and single crochet in the second stitch. And then you're going to make your first bobble. So just as before, into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, and then finally into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. And you're going to continue with your alternate bobble and slip stitches, just as you did on the second row, but this time one, 2, 3, so you will stop once you've got 2 stitches left. What am I doing? Into the next stitch. So I'm going to continue making my bobble stitches. Until I've got 2 stitches left. Oh, I'm just making my last bobble stitch. Now I've got 2 stitches left, so I'm going to make a single crochet into both of those stitches. And then chain 1 and turn. So now I have an offset row of bobbles. And now I can make my return pass of single crochet. So that's 2 single crochet there, then 1 on top of the bobble, and then in between the bobbles and on top of the bobbles all the way down the row. It's a good idea to count your stitches as you go, or at the end of each row, just to double check that you've still got the right amount of stitches. Sorry, my hand keeps wandering off there, I do apologise. Here we go. And then those rows 2, 3, 4 and 5 are your repeat rows until your project is as long or as wide as you need it to be. And that's the baby bobble stitch. Now you can of course stack them rather than offset them, so that just rows 2 and 3, you just repeat rows 2 and 3, and that's absolutely fine. But it is an absolutely gorgeous and beautifully textured little bobble stitch. I hope that you enjoyed that little demonstration, and I hope that you get to use the baby bobble stitch. Come along and join us in our crochet along, in our stitch sampler crochet along, when we'll be using this. We'll have more details about that, as I say, in the next few days. Have a lovely weekend, lovely people, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.